Story time!
Nana and her magic knitting needles. Every year, Terri and her family got a woolly jumper from Nana for Christmas. It brought Nana so much joy to see her family wear what she had spent many hours making for them. Every Christmas Eve, Nana would have the whole family over to hand out her homemade delights. The whole family dreaded this day. Nana was not the best knitter. She struggled to follow patterns at the same time as watching Countdown and the Crystal Maze. And the wool, oh my days, it was so itchy that you needed 2 long-sleeve t-shirts on underneath the jumper, and I swear you could still feel the itch. The sleeves would be different lengths. The front would be longer than the back, but only in certain areas, and the neckline would be all over the place. But Nana didn't seem to notice. She was so proud. One warm sunny June day, Nana went with a friend to Appleby Gypsy Fair. She saw a lady in a caravan knitting away. Nana went over to talk to her. "Oh, look how fast you can knit. It takes me forever to knit a jumper for everyone in my family. Can you teach me how to do it so fast, please?" The lady looked at Nana. She didn't say a word. She patted the seat next to her, which Nana knew meant "Come sit with me." And Nana watched. "Do you have some needles I could borrow?" asked Nana. Again the lady just looked at her. She stopped knitting and handed Nana a very strange pair of wonky wooden knitting needles. Nana snorted a laugh. "How am I supposed to knit with these?" she asked. The lady handed her a ball of wool and said, "Try." Nana casted on 100 stitches. She did her first purl, and in 10 minutes she had knitted a jumper front. Wow! Nana was convinced that her watch and the caravan clock were wrong. This would normally take her a good 5 weeks. But then she looked at it, and again, wow! There wasn't one mistake. How could this be? She looked at the lady and was just about to ask her, and the lady was staring at Nana, and Nana knew not to ask any questions. An hour went by and Nana had made a jumper with matching hat, scarf, gloves, and she was on with making socks. Never in her life had she made any of these things. They were perfect and no pattern had been used. The lady stopped Nana at the end of the second sock. "You are her, she is you. For years I have searched for you. You are the wonder of the wool. You see, these needles only work for certain people. Many, many people have sat where you sit now and nothing happens. These are your needles now, and you must never tell of their powers. You must make up a reason as to how your skill has improved. One day you will pass them on to the next keeper. You must not give them to anyone who cannot work with them like you can." Nana asked how much they were, as she didn't have much money in her purse. The lady said, "Things like this don't have a price." Well, what should I say if anybody asked where I got them from? Tell the truth. They were a gift. Nana got home. She started on her Christmas stock. She had knitted her youngest grandchild's gifts while in the caravan. This had saved her a week's of work. She sat down for an hour each day. She could make jumpers for all of her friends too. She decided she would put a big snowman on a red jumper for Terri. She made a red hat and gloves and some red socks with snow on them to complete the set. She hoped Terri would love them. Terri absolutely loved snow. An elf jumper for her daughter, a Santa for her son, parcels for her son-in-law, and Rudolph for her daughter-in-law. And she actually decided that this year she would make herself one too. It was going to be a Christmas tree jumper. But Nana got sick in September. She took a tumble and broke her wrist. She felt very sad and she just lay on her bed. She was scared that she might fall again. Nana got a cold and a bad chest infection. Her family were a great help, and after 6 weeks Nana had recovered. Her family had a meeting. Terri's parents said, "Mum will come and live with us until she gets her confidence back again. Luckily, we won't be getting Christmas jumpers this year," and everyone laughed. Nana would have been so upset if she'd known that nobody liked her jumpers. Whilst Dad was packing the essentials for Nana to move into his house, he saw the knitting needles. What on earth are these? These are my new knitting needles. They're not knitting needles. How could you possibly knit with these? Throw them away. Nana grabbed the knitting needles from her son. Don't you dare! They are mine. All right, calm down, Mum, he said. It's just some twigs. Nana knew she couldn't tell him, and even if she could, he wouldn't believe her. What's in this box, Mum? Nana panicked. Oh, just some bits that I've been getting together for Christmas. The box was big, and her son was relieved that it was too big for jumpers. Nana hadn't been able to knit for almost 2 months, and she told her family that she was running late with Christmas, but when she got back to living at home again, she would get back to it. Nana was going to be back at her house in the new year. She was feeling much better and much more confident. She loved living with her family. The grandchildren made her feel young and wanted. She wasn't sure that she would ever be happy living on her own again. Christmas Eve came and all the family arrived. Nana asked her son to bring the big box into the lounge. Nana sat in the middle of the sofa and she opened the box. Her family were curious as to what they would receive instead of a jumper. Nana called everyone up one by one. After all the gifts had been handed out, Nana said, "Go ahead, open them." And the family tried to hide their disappointment when they saw not only a jumper, but a hat, gloves, scarf, and socks. Nana was beaming with pride. "Go ahead, put them on." The family all looked at each other. How had she managed all this? They knew it took her ages normally without being ill. The family were super surprised when they saw that the items were all perfect. She must have bought them or had someone else make them for her. They refused to believe that she had made them on wonky needles. "Put them on," she shouted with pride. As everyone was putting their jumpers on, she put on her own. "I made you a special one," she smiled at Terri. Terri loved it. As soon as she put it on, it started to snow. It was just light snow, but it started to get heavier. The family also noticed that the jumpers were really soft and fluffy. What was going on? At bedtime, Terri took her jumper off. She thanked her Nana and noticed that the snow had stopped. On Christmas morning, Terri looked out of her window. It was her first white Christmas ever. She got dressed and put on her jumper. The snow started again. It was so exciting. At lunchtime, the snow was almost knee-deep, and Dad had to turn the heating up. Terri then was too hot, so she took her jumper off and it stopped snowing. "Oh no, I've spilt gravy down my jumper." "Put it in the wash," said Mum. "I will wash it on its own so that the colour doesn't run." "Oh, that's a shame," Dad said. "It's raining. All that lovely snow." "I will put the jumper on a hanger in the bathroom to dry," Mum said. When the washing machine had finished, the rain also stopped. It was a great day, lots of good television, fun and games. "Mom," Terri said, "will my jumper be dry for tomorrow?" "It might be, we will have to see." Terri slept like a log. She loved her new jumper and couldn't wait to wear it again. By lunchtime, her jumper was dry and she put it on. It was snowing. The ground was so wet from the rain and the melting snow last night it might not settle. But it snowed right up until Terri went to get her pyjamas on. It didn't snow overnight, but it was very cold. In the morning when Terri got up, she put the jumper on over her pyjamas and opened her curtains. It had started snowing again. "Let's go build a snowman," Terri shouted. She put on her wellies and coat and off she went. "Terri," her mum shouted, "get dressed first." Terri didn't hear her. Dad came out to help her with putting the head on the body, and it was really snowing hard now. Mum shouted, "Come get dressed and have some breakfast." But Terri groaned and went in. She took her wellies and coat off, ran upstairs to get dressed. Off with the jumper, then her pyjama top. Oh, it had stopped snowing. Off with her bottoms, on with Nana's new woolly socks, nice warm trousers, a t-shirt, and of course Nana's jumper. She ran downstairs for breakfast and It was snowing again,